do this regardless, man. Any means necessary. Either way it goes. Yeah.
I'ma get to that dough, either way it go. Project Purpose, bringing hope, either way it go. Make it happen for the poor, either way it go. We don't talk, we let it show, either way it go. Either way it go, either way it go. We ain't worried about no critics, either way it go. What's your purpose? We gon' get it, either way it go. When you got purpose, ain't no limits, either way it go. I remember being down bad, hella cold. No food, no clothes, and nowhere to go. I got on my grind, trying to make a profit. The last thing on my mind is trying to go to college. What? I ain't worried about it. I know I can't afford that. I'm posted on my doorstep, headed down the wrong path, trying to make a change. Project Purpose, we gon' make a change. Switch it up, switch it up, switch it up. We never planning on giving up. We got the haters so sick of us. You want some better than get with us. We the people, we the people. Them and us are not an equal. You ain't knowing, I'ma teach you. And I'ma show you just what we do. I'ma get to that dough, either way it go. Project Purpose, bringing hope, either way it go. Make it happen for the poor, either way it go. We don't talk, we let it show, either way it go. Either way it go, either way it go. We ain't worried about no critics, either way it go. What's your purpose? We gon' get it, either way it go. When you got purpose, ain't no limits, either way it go. Distractions trying to keep me from my purpose. The pain I hold inside, not on the surface.
Welcome to From Pain to Purpose Radio Show here on ASA Online Media Network. Dr. Purpose, welcome.
Hey, welcome. Happy New Year, everyone. What an exciting time to start our new year talking about purpose and talking about how to start off this new year and make it great. So we're excited.
We are excited for sure, and we are, even with the difficulties, we're going to do the show. So just give me a second here because I got some information you're going to need to be able to join in to the show, and I'm working on getting that pulled up here in just a quick second. Boy, this is not good, Dr. Purpose. Not good at all.
Well, the other day I was asked a question, and while you setting the tone over there and getting us going, I was asked this question that made me really, really think. According to purpose, and the person asked me, he just couldn't really understand purpose and what we're doing, and everything. He thought that you're just a victim of your circumstances and the way things happen. They just happen.
Yeah.
You just need to go,
just kind of stumble along.
Just do your thing.
Wow.
And the best way that I was able to explain to him in many words was that purpose is a cure to self-destruction.
It is.
Because
it is, yeah.
Because what he was described in his life was all about
exactly.
It was destruction.
Yeah. And if you're operating on purpose, then you're focused in on you're not focusing on self-destruction. You're focusing on self-fulfillment, and just so I get that. That.
Your self-fulfillment. You have meaning.
Yeah.
Something is. You feel something pulling on you, a force that's saying it brings you excitement.
Yeah.
And so now and at this level, all the destruction, all the challenges, all the relationship problems, everything that you are going through now with purpose, you could actually start to enjoy life.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
You could actually enjoy life.
Yeah.
And so this individual afterwards, he it changed. I mean, immediately he got it, and he said, "Well, now what's my purpose?"
Now he wanted to figure it out.
I said, "Well, you need to tune into the show.
Tune into the show, take the workshop, whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
Tune into the show, take a workshop, and we'll figure that out for you."
I like it. Hey, welcome to From Pain to Purpose Radio Show here on ASA Online Media Network. We are your hosts, Casper Stockham and Donald Dr. Purpose Murphy, and we are so glad you are here. You know, Pain to Purpose is a show that is devoted to helping you find and activate your God-given purpose, and we know that without purpose, all else is irrelevant. So even though we're having technical difficulties, we are going to operate in our purpose today.
Yes, sir.
Okay? It's not going to stop us from operating in our purpose as we start the show. So one of the first things we want to do, because this is the first show, is we kind of want to give you a little bit of background on ourselves and kind of what this is all about, so that going forward that when you're plugging in, you're going to get some great information on how you can activate your purpose. And like the gentleman you were talking to, as he listens to the show, he will figure out how to activate his purpose. So my name is Casper Stockham, and I have a background in marketing and sales, and recently been involved on the political scene. But I am part of the founding partnership in Project Purpose. And when I was growing up, I was all over the place, and I was starting to get in trouble and hanging out in places I'm not supposed to be hanging out in. And I had a judge, very nice judge, tell me.
Nice judge.
It was a nice judge.
Right.
He said, "Young man, you got a choice to make. You can either go to jail or you can go into the service." I'm like, let me think about that for a second, Judge.
You didn't take too long.
No, I didn't take too long. I was like, I think I'm going in the Air Force, Judge.
I know that's right.
So, my initial purpose was decided for me real quickly, because I was like, man, I got to, I'm not going to jail. I would not do well in jail.
Right,
Okay.
Right. Me or you, brother.
Right. So I went into the Air Force, and that was the best thing that could ever happen to me, because it gave me structure. It gave me the ability to get into some leadership roles and things like that. I stayed in 14 and a half years, and I got out and started really getting into marketing and sales and things like that. And that's when we met, in that area. But just hearing about Project Purpose and what it was all about, I mean, I was sold. So I'm like, yeah. We need to do this. So now we've been out for the past few years now doing workshops and training youth how to get a job, keep a job, and excel at that job, and how to teach them how to start businesses if they don't want a job.
Right.
And that's a lot of folks, really. They don't really know what they want, but once they start to think about their purpose, we start to realize that, dude, that's a business.
That's a business.
Right. We help them turn that into a business. So I'm excited to be able to start this show and start to give the audience some more about what we're doing and how we're doing it, and how this can all help them as they start to reach out into their purpose.
Absolutely. Again, Donald Murphy. You can call me all Dr. Purpose, right? And I'm one of the co-founders as well of Project Purpose. And, based off of my life experiences, I decided that one day, as I begin to have success in my life, you know what? It's time to help others.
Yeah.
Right? It's time to help others. And what really helped me, Casper, was mentors came in my life and helped me to discover my purpose.
Right.
My passions, my gifts, it was a lot of those things that helped me come, to jump off that path of destruction, and my story is similar to yours, where getting in trouble, running with the wrong crowd, not doing really well in school, on to high school, just really, really wasn't doing well. But there was always this question in the back of my mind.
Sure.
Every day, something's not right. Something has to be more than just waking up, going out, getting in trouble with
Right.
the law.
Right.
You know, cutting class and you know, fighting and drugs and alcohol and just all this stuff. Something in my soul, in my I can't explain it,
Mm-hmm.
but something was telling me there's more to life.
Yeah.
You know, and as I begin to have success in the hospitality industry, an industry I have over 20 plus years in running restaurants and customer service and things of that such, training and training individuals, it was clear to me it was a point for me to start to give back. And as I looked at our communities, looked at our young people, our teenagers, it wasn't good. You know, it wasn't good. And so I decided, you know, what worked for me was the hospitality industry, food. I'm so passionate about food. I love getting in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I could spend hours in the kitchen. And my mentor, my first boss, he saw it and he poured into my gifts, helped develop me, helped you know, as the individual that I am now today. As I went and moved on to other restaurant concepts, it was almost as God was just bringing the people to help bring out these gifts and talents.
Right.
And that's what Project Purpose is all about. It's us being able to help our youth and their families to identify those passions and their purpose in life, their God purpose in life.
Right. Man, that's awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break here and maybe get some sound going, maybe not, but either way it goes, baby, we're going to get through the door.
Either way it goes.
Either way it goes. So, again, you're listening to Pain to Purpose Radio Show with Dr. Purpose and myself, Casper Stockham, and we're going to take a quick break here and hopefully do some technical revamping and figure out what's going on. But if not, we're definitely going to be coming back here in just a quick moment and continue on with the show. We're going to be talking about some distractions that are keeping you from your purpose. So when we come back, we're going to be talking about that. Hey, you're listening to Pain to Purpose Radio Show here on ASA Online Media Network. We are looking for sponsors to the show, so if you'd like more information, just reach out to us on our website, and that is projectpurposeco.org. That's projectpurposeco.org, or our Facebook or Twitter page. Just type in Project Purpose, all one word. If you do that, you'll be able to find us and reach out to us. You know, we're looking for help as well. We are looking to expand out our workshops and all the things we're doing across the nation. So if you are willing to do that and join us, we're excited to have you with us for sure. We're going to take a quick break. There's going to be some radio silence for about 2 minutes. But don't panic. Don't panic. We'll be right back, and we'll continue on with the show in about 2 minutes. So we'll be right back. Thanks.
I'm gonna say radio sound.
All right, welcome back to Pain to Purpose Radio Show here on ASA Online Media Network. We are excited to have you with us as we go through just helping you figure out how to go from pain to purpose. You know, it's purpose is one of those things that some people get, some people don't get. But if you get it, if you start operating in your purpose, things start to happen better for you. And it's just even if it's not a immediate financial benefit, just your peace of mind, being able to know that
Absolutely.
you are doing something that you love to do, that you're excited about, it just gives you a better place to operate from.
I mean, I believe when you begin to live on purpose, you start. Let's take one of our workshops.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen a significant difference in participants who have taken our Finding Your Unique Purpose Path workshop, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of these individuals, once they're injected with purpose, once we give them that shot,
Right.
and they're on with purpose,
Right.
we've seen a huge improvement in a person's, I would say, their psychological well-being.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you see a change in mindset. You see a change in their behavior.
Right.
It's almost to the degree that a lot of the behavioral issues, a lot of things, the challenges that you see a child acting out, like when I look at my past, the acting out, getting in trouble, having brushes with the law, different things, fighting, what have you. But once I was injected with purpose,
Mm-hmm.
I immediately begin to leave alone a lot of the negative stuff.
Right. Right.
You know, absolutely. So I feel that once we are shown or someone helps us to identify
Mm-hmm.
what that passion is for you, what the purpose is,
Exactly.
there's a dramatic change in it. And we don't have the proof yet on a psychological level.
Right,
We're
right.
working toward that.
Oh, yeah.
We're working toward it. But I absolutely believe that purpose can change someone's life around.
There's no doubt it can do it, you know, and as you said in the workshops that we do all the time, we see what happens with individuals when the light starts to come on.
Right.
You know, and they say, "Oh, you know, I really like music, or I really like talking to people." I mean, and it doesn't have to be something dramatic. It could be something very simple, you know, that triggers them.
Well, society's told us that it's something dramatic, that
Right.
you have to, you know, a lot of times we see that these passions that individuals have, society has told us that they are hobbies.
Right.
You know what? Stop messing with that. You know, put that on the shelf kind of deal. And, you know, go to college and
Right.
go do this
Right.
and go do that.
Right.
And really it's something really, really simple. Something that you really enjoy. You know. And so, you know, as we really start to dive into the distractions that are keeping you from purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And wouldn't you say that up until now, before you begin to have success, Casper,
Mm-hmm.
there were a lot of distractions.
Tons. Yeah. Yeah. There was no shortage of distractions, you know, and
I like how you say that trouble, you were
right on the edge of trouble.
right on the edge of
Yeah, I was like seriously right there. I could walk to trouble. I didn't have to catch a bus or nothing.
Right.
I could walk over to trouble anytime, and I just, you know, I did it often.
Absolutely.
You know, because it was tempting. Because trouble brought excitement
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, just a little bit of edginess, you know, and stuff like that. It was like, I bet you I could go over there and we could do this and do that.
Right. Absolutely. And so we have created, just based off these workshops over the last several years, our top 10 distractions. And we're going to cover one of those distractions here today, that we feel that, especially with the number one, that we feel that if you were to apply this, you can start to have significant change in your life. And this is by far one of the major distractions that's keeping you from living a life of fulfillment. Number one
Mm-hmm.
is, drum roll please, is the There it is. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Uh-oh.
That is a quote by the late Jim Rohn, which you've had the opportunity to meet 2 times.
Yeah, twice. I met him and worked on some projects with him and his team. So,
Wow,
yeah.
wow. So, listeners, if you can just Google Jim Rohn, a fascinating motivational speaker, life coach individual. This is a quote from him, and actually one of my bosses that I hold dear as a mentor actually said this to me years ago that really had me thinking. He asked me because I was beginning to do really, really well in a restaurant that I worked my way up to management.
Right.
But he knew something was wrong. He knew that I had one foot in and something was going on. And I did. I had one foot where I was working and still trying to keep my cover in the streets. I was still kind of had one foot in the streets and one foot in the restaurant kind of deal. But he approached me one day and he actually looked me in the eye, Casper, and he asked me, he said, "Who are you hanging with when you leave here?
Wow.
What are you doing? What books are you reading?" And he began to ask me different questions, and I just looked at him, and he started to say, "It's very important of who you socialize with and who you're spending time with."
Yeah.
And at that time, brother, I was spending a lot of time with a lot of individuals who had great skills, great talents.
Yeah.
But we were not using any of them. We were using a lot of the skills that we have for bad. And I looked at the individuals at that time that I ran in the circles with, and we wasn't doing the best things. A lot of drugs and alcohol and just a lot of bad things. And guess what? I find myself doing those things.
Right.
Well, when he gave me the opportunity, Casper, to actually join his crowd. See, his crowd was all business owners. Right. They own restaurants. They own different companies and things. I begin to go to parties with them and just different invites to just different networking events and what have you.
Yeah.
And it changed my life. And guess what? I replaced my 5, right, and began to hang around his 5.
Wow.
And guess what? Years later, from there, I ended up, having my own restaurant.
Yeah.
And owning my own businesses because I began listening and surrounding myself about individuals like that.
Right. And what I know about that particular distraction is that if you're fortunate to have someone like you had, somebody that could plug you into their 5, if you will, right? That's good. But if you're like me, when I stopped hanging around my 5, it was just me. Because I didn't have a mentor that was able to plug me into to their 5. So I was just out looking for people that were moving and people doing stuff. You just have to start looking for the people that are doing what you want to do. It's like if you want to become healthy, study people that are healthy and who are operating in health. If you want to become wealthy, study people who are wealthy and start trying to hang around them. But the challenge with that is they're trying to avoid you because they know you're not wealthy.
Right.
So they're running from you just like you're trying to run to them, right? So it's it's a challenge, but it's definitely something you need to be mindful of. It's a major distraction that will keep you from your purpose is hanging around the wrong people.
Absolutely.
The people that I grew up with, see, the military helped me in that because I was hanging around the wrong people. That's why I was in trouble in front of the judge. Yes. Right. So the military helped me pull away from that. So then I started to first of all, I wasn't even in the same state. Right. So I was in a different state. Right. A different state of mind. The military pulled me out of that gang type feeling, and put me into a place to where I was with a bunch of people from all around the nation, but we were all together. So we had to establish teamwork and all these different aspects of leadership.
Yes.
Right. But that was all that all happened. through the military.
What would you say someone that's just listening real quick that says, how can they, I mean, you gave something, but what's something that you can really tell somebody that can help them to start to develop that some new friendships? I mean, what can they go out in their community and do?
Yeah, so again, they have to look for individuals doing something and just try to get around them. And that doesn't mean call them up on the phone and harass them or anything. Right. It just means that find out what their schedule is and show up. I can remember, I'm trying to remember the exact case, but there was a time I was trying to get this one guy to notice me because he was into business and stuff. So I would just, every time I looked on his calendar, he had his calendar, it was public. So I would show up. I said, hey, I just introduced myself. And then I would stay close and listen in on what they were talking about, hoping that some nuggets would drop out of, out of the conversation. But I know what it was. I was at the Chamber of Commerce. Okay. And I was trying to get some new business for my company. So I was at every function they had.
I did a similar
experience. I was at every function they had, and then what happened was the director of the chamber, he's like, "Oh, Casper's always here," and he started to call me out, because my name is a little unique, but he started to recognize that I was always there and I was always helping, and I wasn't just there. I didn't just show up to listen. I would help with the chairs. I'd set the chairs up. I set the chairs. I'd do all the breakdown. So he saw me as someone that was helping them out. We got to take a quick break, though, for our sponsors, and it's going to be a silent break, so don't freak out. It's going to be about 2 minutes. We're going to be coming back. We got a lot more great stuff to share with you. We got some unique stories we want to share with you as well. You're listening to Project Purpose Radio Show here on ASA Online Media Network, and we are looking for sponsors to the show, so if you want to become a sponsor, just reach out to us. We're going to take a quick break. Again, it's going to be a silent break. Just stay tuned. We'll be right back in about 2 minutes. Hey, welcome back to Pain to Purpose Radio Show here on ASA Online Media Network, and I am in a great conversation with Dr. Purpose, the co-host of the show. My name is Casper Stockham. We were talking about the distractions that keep you from your purpose, and the main distraction that we shared with you is who are you hanging around? Who's your five, your fave five, or whatever they call it. Those people can either propel you into greatness, or they can be, they can drag you right on into the gutter.
Absolutely.
And
when I look back, and I wanted to really build upon what you said in the last segment there. You spoke. We were talking about what you could do right now if you're struggling. You're not sure what you're supposed to be doing with your life. You're experiencing a lot of trauma, just failure, a lot of pain. Begin to shift the people that you're hanging around with.
Right.
And one of the quickest way, again, I began hanging with my first boss when I was 17 years old, working at a cheesesteak restaurant in St. Louis, Missouri. I began to, he actually posed that question to me. He asked me, who was I hanging with? He said, who are the 5 people that you hang with when you leave this store?
Right.
Because he knew something was wrong in terms of my development I could have much more success, but he knew something was holding me back.
Sure.
But once I went home and actually thought about it, I cried. I cried really hard about it. But the next day I came to work fully charged and ready to actually, start this new life.
Right.
And that weekend, he ended up inviting me to his home. And he had, guess what? He had other business owners at his home. Yeah. And, like a little barbecue. And he began inviting me to hit around his family and his wife. And I ended up, he had me take some courses in management. So customer service, things of that such. I started hanging with my peers in those rooms at the community college. So I would say to anyone that's out there that is experiencing pain, you feel lost, you have your loneliness, despair.
Right.
You just start, and you may not even know what your passion is, what your gift is.
Right.
You may not know that yet. But start changing the people that you hang with.
Yeah, yeah.
Take some community classes at your local college. Go somewhere, and there's meetup now. There's meetup groups.
Yeah.
Go find a meetup group and just go to a group. Find a topic that sounds good. Go hang out. Just start finding new people that are doing something different than you normally would do.
Exactly. And if you know what your purpose is, then, or if you know what your interests are, let's say you haven't come as far as knowing what your purpose is and all the other stuff, but you know what you're interested in. Right. So if you're interested in music, then do a Google search for music meetups and start hanging around people that are playing music. This is simple, right? But get out of your normal routine and get around people who are doing something that you have interest in. And then that'll help you start to get on the right path, if you will, towards your purpose.
I'm going to dive down just a little bit more deeper into what it looks like with that 5. Mm-hmm. And it's really, if someone is just full of negativity, you come up with an idea and they say, Casper, man, that is not going to happen.
Yeah.
That would never happen. You don't have this or you don't have that, Mm-hmm. And then the other guys you hang around with, they watch sports every Sunday.
Right.
And they're just, doing their deal every Sunday, and they're playing the pools and all this stuff. Guess what? You're going to just be doing that.
Right.
So you hang around someone who's just, they just use profanity guess what? You probably gonna be using a lot of profanity as well. Mm-hmm. So this, when I looked over my life and my boss, my first boss, when he actually said this to me, and I looked at the pattern of my life with those 5.
Right.
It was true. It was so true of everything that I was doing in my life. Absolutely everything. And so I really want to drive this home to those who are listening that are just struggling. Unfortunately, the people around you really feel like those are your friends. But I can tell you that right now, and if someone is not believing in you, not helping you to do better, you got to change that circle.
Yeah, you got to change it.
You just got to change it.
Yeah.
And I can promise you this. And you said this earlier, Casper. You may not know your purpose, and you may not know what that is, but once you begin to change that circle and get new fellowship, new friendships, you're gonna be on the path to having a more smoother, more stress-free life. I can promise you that.
And how do you know when you are hanging around the right people? From my perspective, and I'd love to get your take on this, but for me, I know when I'm being stretched, or when they're asking me, okay, so what are you doing? So what's next? So what? I mean, they're asking me questions, not questions to tear me down, but questions to build me up. Right. Because people, like I'm into politics, right? So I lost my last race, but when I go around people that are challenging me, they said, "So are you going to run again?" Or what's next now? What's the next thing, right? So they're always challenging me on that.
And that's a great point. I mean, a bad example of that would have been someone that says, "Man, you lost. See, I don't know what you was thinking in the first place.
Right.
Ain't no reason why you. I mean, what you trying to, if someone just, and then each time you see them, they ain't got nothing new to say or anything great to say. They say, man, I was." And we in the new year now.
Right.
They still talking about the race.
Exactly.
And, man, you lost. And that's when you know that you're around the wrong person.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. So again, we're talking about the distractions. One of the distractions out of our top 10, one of the distractions keeping you from purpose. For those who may just be tuning in, that number 1 was you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Yep. Absolutely.
And so clearly, just to give those listeners some more options of what you can do. One, we talked about joining the chamber.
Yeah.
If you belong to a church home and you haven't joined, perhaps, maybe the food pantry or to help give food out, or giving clothing out, feeding the homeless or something. There's many opportunities out there where you can actually go. I mean, Goodwill has a really, really good program to where you can go to Goodwill and volunteer and just begin to help out.
Right.
But I can tell you what, when you're there helping out, they have a lot of people there that volunteer from all walks of life, different backgrounds, who just volunteer and work in there. I'm pretty sure there's some people there that's doing some great things.
Yep.
That you can, and again, we have Google right in front of us. You can Google anything of what some groups and things out there that can help you get around the people that can help to start change your life.
Yeah. One of the stories I wanted to touch on quickly on our Facebook page. If you go to Project Purpose Facebook page, just do a search for Project Purpose. There's a young 5-year-old young lady on this site.
This is incredible.
And she's playing Bach, as in classical music, Bach. And she's playing it like it's nothing.
5 years old.
5 years old.
I have a 5 years old.
Okay.
And she, look here. She plays with a piano. It don't sound nothing like this here,
This young lady is getting it in, I mean, her purpose to me has been identified early.
Yes.
Early. And she is playing the piano. You gotta check out this video on our Facebook page. She's making it happen. She has her parents, or I don't know how it came about, but she's been able to identify her purpose early, and it looks like she enjoys it too.
regardless, man. Enemy necessary. Either way it goes. Yeah.
I'ma get to that dough, either way it go. Project Purpose, bring it hope, either way it go. Make it happen for the po, either way it go. We don't talk, we let it show, either way it go. Either way it go, either way it go. We ain't worried about no critics, either way it go. What's your purpose? We gon' get it, either way it go. When you got purpose, ain't no limits, either way it go. I remember being down bad, hella poor. No food, no clothes, and nowhere to go. I got on my grind, trying to make a profit. The last thing on my mind is trying to go to college. What? I ain't worried about it. I know I can't afford that. I'm posted on my doorstep, headed down the wrong path, trying to make a change. Project Purpose, we gon' make a change. Switch it up, switch it up, switch it up. We never planning on giving up. We got the haters so sick of us. You want some better than get with us. We the people, we the people. Them and us are not an equal. You ain't knowing, I'ma teach you. And I'ma show you just what we do. I'ma get to that dough, either way it go. Project Purpose, bring it hope, either way it go. Make it happen for the po, either way it go. We don't talk, we let it show, either way it go. Either way